Incredible cases of American jurisprudence is the Scottsboro case. Again, you can't understand unless you have the context of the Great Depression. You have folks riding the rails looking for work because they can't afford just to be sitting around and saying, I'll just take this job here. So they're hopping from train to train, trying to find whatever they can. And it just so happens in Scottsboro, you have 9 black teenagers and they get in a fight on the train with some white boys. And now the train stops in Scottsboro because this fight broke out. And as they're getting off, the sheriffs are there, the black guys get in the fight, the white guys get off, and arrest these 9 young kids. The sheriffs are there, the black guys get off, and the white guys get off. And 9 kids that range from the age like 12 to 17. And the women, Victoria Price, known as the Scottsboro Boys, and say these 9 black teenagers raped them. The town immediately, took the 9 kids. 9 kids that range from the age like 12 to 17, known as the Scottsboro Boys. These 9 teenagers, black teenagers, were 1 charged, Ruby Bates, and convicted of recants. She said, one of the women who yells, rape has recanted. Next stepped in the NAACP, stepped in to try to do what they could do. Now imagine, you're on trial for a crime that never happened, and your court-appointed attorney, one, is the town drunk. There are multiple problems with this story. In Alabama prison. Alabama prison. For a crime that was not even committed. Case goes back up to the Supreme Court, and by the time there were so many egregious constitutional errors in this case that by the time the Scottsboro case is done, eventually they're starting to get out one by one, by one, by one. That's by the time that they finally get to the last one. Now you had several of them also being in Alabama prison. Can you imagine escaping from an Alabama chain gang? Being a part of that, being in a crime that demonstrates that you couldn't even have done this thing. This would be called a crime. They actually found women recanted. One up in Michigan. The last one pardoned by George used. The last one pardoned by Governor George refusing sometime, I believe, in the 1980s. So imagine again, basically living in the shadows for almost 40 to 50 years. Even looked up and said, because of something that never happened. The last one pardoned by Governor George Wallace, sometime, I believe, in the 1980s. So imagine again, basically living in the shadows for almost 40 to 50 years because of something that never happened. Of a Supreme Court decisions dealing with the right of competent counsel, the charge, thank God, of rape, and the right to have a jury of your peers. Now, that is some amazing jurisprudence. I have no words for what happened in Scottsboro, but an egregious wrong that in my eyes, but maybe times will turn. I pray so, maybe someday I'll get lucky. Someone's gonna say, all right, son, take the train and go back home. Hop a freight and go back home.